Good day guys, T90 here, and today we're diving into Khaleed as a Ngomo build, a Ngomo tutorial. I'll be covering his skills, builds, emblems, tips, and some combos to help you learn how to use Khaleed in a ranked game. I repeat, this tutorial is for Ngomers only, Khaleed Ngom to be precise. So, let's dive right into it, shall we? His passive, Sunwalk, Khaleed gains a movement speed buff after continuous walking or moving. This can also be activated by using his skills. Khaleed's first skill, second skill, and ultimate skill can all activate his passive. When fully charged, I guess you could call it charge, his next basic attack will be enhanced, doing more damage and having more range. It will also slow down enemies. Now let's move on to his second skill. Khaleed's first skill, Desert Tornado. It is when he swings his scimitar in a spinning motion 3 times, dealing damage to anyone surrounding him. For each strike, he can move to a different location. It will also slightly pull enemies towards him. Now on to his second skill. His second skill, Quicksand Guard. Khaleed will bow in an area, I guess, immobilizing himself while restoring HP over time and reducing damage taken. Enemies' movement speed will also reduce if they get too close. This skill can be interrupted by stuns. Now on to his final skill, his ultimate. Khaleed's ultimate skill, Raging Storm. Khaleed jumps to a designated location, stunning any heroes in that area. Now that's out of the way, let's talk about some combos, shall we, before we go into some emblem skills and in-game tips. So, his combo is very simple. It's just using his enhanced basic attack, his first skill, then his basic attack. Then, if you want, you can follow it up with his ultimate. His second combo, or also his final combo, it is his Flicker ult combo. It is where you ult first, then Flicker at the same time. At the right moment, you will land directly on the enemy or on your destination you want. Okay, on the next few parts, I'm gonna do this a little different from before, because I wasn't able to show some in-game tips before properly, at the same time showing his emblems. So I'm gonna do a mix of it. I'm gonna show both his emblems, builds, and some in-game tips in a not so timely manner. So it means it's just random. I'm showing it randomly. So I think I'm gonna start off with the very first in-game tip. That has to be, when you first spawn in the game, pick his first skill, then instantly use it. You will almost activate your passive skill in an instant. Okay, so I'm going to conceal as my boots, and I will not complete the boots until later on, and I went with Flicker. So, second tip. The first thing I always do is rotate to the fighter lane. I will always try to make the enemy fighter use his skill or his regen. That makes it good for my fighter to be able to take him down easily later on. And I will try to harass him a little more to give my fighter a chance to get the first blood or to take him down. After that, I go rotate to someone else, either the gold lane or to my jungle. Normally, it's the jungle, depending on the situation. Sometimes, I would stay in the EXP lane a little longer to see what happens, especially if the marksman is not in a peril or if the jungle is not in a peril. That depends on the enemy team composition. In this case, they won't really be invading much, seeing the team composition of theirs. So I chose to stay in the fighting lane a little more. Saying that will not always be correct because enemy teams can really be a little more crazy sometimes, they will invade even though they can't invade properly. So let's go back to the items. My second item, Thunderbird. I will always build Thunderbird as my very first core item. Why? Thunderbird gives me extra defense in both physical and magic damage, and I also gain extra damage when I attack enemies. Thunderbird will also gain stack each time I attack an enemy, which is very good for Khaleed. Khaleed has a very huge range on his enhanced base attack, which makes him very viable in gaining stacks for it. So after that, I will either go for Dominance of Ice, depending on the enemy. If they have a lot of HP regen, HP shield gain, I will build Dominance of Ice, and suddenly I was not able to help my team very well in that situation due to me overstaying my welcome in the bot lane. That is completely my fault, and I accept anyone bashing me in the comments for it. Dominance of Ice, like I said, depends on the enemy team's composition. If they have high regen, like in this case, they have 4 views, Xenon, and Bruno, they have high lifesteal, especially in the late game, or high shield gain. Dominance of Ice would be great here. If not, I would be going Anti-Culas to reduce the enemy's damage. Next up has to be a magic defense, either Radiant Armor, Oracle, or Athena Shield. If you see an enemy with high combo rate, but not that strong in the early game, but strong in the late game, you can go with Oracle first, then later on build Athena. If they have high damage even in the early game, someone like Lunox maybe, Athena Shield would be very useful. Radiant Armor is also great, not for combo healers, but for continuous damage healers. This could be Chang'e, or Valkyrie, or Esmeralda, or many more other magic damage healers. Karina would also count, but Athena Shield would work best for Karina. But since you're the tank, Radiant Armor would also still work. Next to that will be up to your choice. It's always up to your choice on the next one. You either complete the boots or build Athena Shield or another magic defense, depending on the enemies. Yeah, but always build Oracle. So if you didn't build Oracle on the first hand, build it next. If you already built Oracle, build another magic defense if they have a strong magic defense composition. In this case, they don't really have that strong of a magic composition except Value and Karina, but I'm still building an Athena Shield or a Radiant Armor just for them. Next up would be Queen Swing or Immortality. Queen Swing's passive can really save Khaleed, especially when he starts to use his second skill. Why? Because Queen Swing gives you damage reduction and gives you extra spell bump. Spell bump really does not count to his second skill, but it still helps out a little bit with the healing factor because he takes less damage. Well, Immortality, do I really need to explain what Immortality does? It revives you. That's the only reason why you're getting it. It revives you. But I prefer Queen Swing than Immortality, so I normally go with Queen Swing. Queen Swing? Yeah, Queen Swing. Bad Wings is for magic one, so yeah, Queen Swing. Up next! There's no next. So let's get into his emblems, shall we? So, Tank Emblem, yeah. I normally go for Tank Emblem as my main go-to emblem for Tank Khaleed or Roam Khaleed. Why? It gives him extra HP, extra defense, extra everything that Khaleed needs to survive. Before I get to its substats, third tip, try to annoy the enemies as best as possible. You're a Khaleed, you can move around the map very quickly, so move around as best as you can and just annoy the crap out of everybody. Oh yeah, I didn't explain the boots part that well, I think, so I wanna go back to that. Top boots goes well, warrior boots also works fine, rapid boots works also, gives him extra more movement speed. I personally like that. I personally use that half of the time I play Khaleed, but it's up to your choice. I'll let you guys decide what you guys want to use on a boot spout. I'm just giving out tips here, of course. So let's go back to the emblem. Actually, no, scratch that. I just wanna say, please tell me which part you guys prefer. Do you guys prefer I'm explaining the entire emblems, the entire set first before I get into tips? Because if I do that, sometimes I miss out some tips in game. So, and I tend to forget to place a clip for that. So I'm very sorry about that. So please tell me what you guys prefer. I would love to hear it from you guys. Please comment also which hero you want a tutorial on next. I will try my best to make one. And no, I will not be doing Fanny, Ring, and Yuzong. As much as I love playing Yuzong as well, I will not be doing tips and tutorials for him. For a reason of I have what they call a skill issue on Yuzong. My win rate on Yuzong is 30%. Just 30. It's that bad. No matter what build I use, I just suck at using Yuzong. My combos, they're fine, but my skills in Yuzong, especially in a 1v1 or in a team fight, just so dang bad. I feel like I go down way too fast, unlike other Yuzongs. Other Yuzongs, they take on 5 dudes, 5 players, while I only take like 1 dude to just take me down. That's 100% skill issue on my part. So back to his emblems, shall we? Tank emblem is normally what I use. I go with Vitality for extra HP. You could go for the one for Firmness, I think it's called. Firmness gives you extra defense for both physical and magic damage. Or you could go with... After that, you can go with Festival of Blood for extra spell vamp, which is really great for Khaleed due to his skills of having lifesteal and not getting killed as quick as like that one over there. Ouch! While Concussive Blast is just for extra damage for Khaleed. The Khaleed does high damage in the early game already, so doing more damage in the early game is very good, especially if you're trying to help everybody in your team. And that's about it for everything in the game except tips. Do I have any more tips for Khaleed? Let me think about it. I'm sorry if you guys think I'm doing this in a rim, which I am doing this in a rim, especially the tips part. I'm doing a tips part in a rim. I do not have a script for these things except the skills. I don't have tutorials for the others, just the skills part. Since explain skills without a script is very hard, so yeah, I'm very sorry about that. I'm gonna tell the honest truth out there. Honest truth about me, so if you hate it, if you like it, I don't know. It's up to you. A final tip I can give out is try to initiate team fights. After all, you're very fast moving around the map. You can ambush enemies in an instant if you want to, if you have a team to do so. Initiate team fights if you have a chance to do so. Especially if you know you're gonna win, initiate it. If you lose it though, not my fault. But seriously, if you guys can initiate a team fight, go ahead, do it. Because you could easily win it, especially with Khaleed. You can just move around the enemies and they can't catch you. While they're still trying to catch you, your teammates could be getting some free hits on them. It does happen. It happened in this match. The Reina got free hit while the Phobius is still trying to kill me. I don't think Phobius is a counter for Khaleed. Personally, if you're going tank Khaleed, Phobius is not the main counter. I think what can counter Khaleed is definitely fast attack speed heroes. August, Scout, Mia. I think those are all of the heroes that can counter Khaleed very well. Anyway, that's all for me today, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys learned something, at least, from these tips and tutorials. Hey, I get likes, so maybe it does. I don't know. I wanna know, but nobody comments. So yeah. Please, if this helps you out, please comment. And also like and subscribe if this helps you out as well. I am very sorry with the delays in tutorials. I will be doing more. I'm gonna try to be more active, I promise you guys. Not tutorial base, but I'm gonna try to post in-game matches as best as I could. But hey, I don't know how my life would turn out, so I'm doing YouTube as a fun thing. I don't try to stress it out that much. Hoping for it to be a success though. That's one of the two things I will say. I hope for it to be success. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And this is it for me today, guys, and watch my team dominate this team fight.